I condemned Secretary Clinton when she used deplorables, and you are basically saying that people who voted for Mamdani are stupid. Shame on you.
This is why
I'm
not
saying you should apologize.
I will not apologize because I'm absolutely right.
What's up, y'all? It's your man World. We back with another one. So Khanna joined Abby Phillips' show on CNN, where he gave some good but maybe too light of a pushback on Betsy McCaughey, which is the former lieutenant governor of the state of New York and now a New York Post columnist. Let's hear what she has to say and if she's making a good point. And then let's see how Khanna reacted to her in full. And then after this clip was released, Betsy would even go on Twitter to double down.
Of the sort, all I said was, this is about politics, right?
Yes.
And the idea that Mamdani has taken ideas that you and many other people think are completely outrageous, that are so extreme, and he went from nobody knows who this guy is to being the probable next mayor of the city is something that only a few people do. And one of the people who did that type of thing was Donald Trump. That's my point.
Very perceptive to point that out. But I would say also that the rise of Mamdani in this primary reflects two things. A pathetic failure of our education system, that so many of these young people who turned out to support Mamdani haven't reasoned in their own minds what his crime policies will do to make the streets so unsafe, what his freeze the rent policies will do to turn New York literally into a slum within a year as this housing stock becomes totally
don't forget, take over the grocery stores.
Before Khanna responds, what do you think she means by that? That our education failed because people support Mamdani in New York City? It seems like she's calling people dumb who just want to be able to afford rent or have our taxpayer money to be used on a truly public transportation system. Or like the other gentleman referenced, maybe you're dumb because Mamdani called for 5 public grocery stores in New York City, one for every borough.
Stock becomes totally
don't forget, take over the grocery stores.
I find that
take
very
over the grocery stores too.
Because I think I never criticize the people who voted for Donald Trump. I never insult their intelligence. I think they're honorable fellow Americans. And for you to insult the intelligence of people who voted for Mamdani,
not their intelligence,
anti-American.
You just said the education.
It's anti-American. And I condemned Secretary Clinton when she used deplorables. And you are basically saying that people who voted for Mamdani are stupid. Shame on you.
This is
No,
why
I'm not saying
you should apologize.
I will not apologize because I'm absolutely right. When you
You're
listen to these 30-year-olds think that freeze the rent is a
more
reasonable
moral idealism,
policy.
and they're
Can I give you
do.
another example just so you understand the other perspective, right? You know, there are many people who would say that if you agree with Donald Trump's view of tariffs, for example, that other countries are paying for them, which is not what is happening, then you don't understand basic economics. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, many people on the other side of that issue who are conservatives and liberals or whatever they are might say that is a complete misreading of the issue and that it's actually contrary to like basic economics. And yet the president is saying it. Many of his supporters believe it. Would you be okay with calling those people stupid?
No, but I'm telling you that when they listen to Zohran Mamdani say, I'm going to freeze the rent every year that I'm mayor, that's just buying votes.
I get that.
It's a totally
but listen,
impractical.
Bad economics on housing, bad economics on taxes,
dangerous
and
ideas,
perverse
ideas.
Bad economics and dangerous economics, maybe. Let's just to concede that point to you. I'm not saying that. You're saying that. On housing, bad economics, dangerous economics on tariffs.
Yes.
Why is one more stupid than the other?
Well, why? Okay, you're bringing in tariffs, but I mean,
no, but
they're not dangerous.
Why is one more stupid and dangerous than the other?
Well, she said uneducated, not stupid. So she talked about the educational system.
And it is a terrible reflection on our educational system that young people see nothing wrong with freezing the rent. You can't freeze the electricity, the property taxes,
the only thing that matters is your view on how housing should be managed by the government, but not anybody else's view on, let's say, how tariffs are taxes, and that maybe the president shouldn't be doing them unilaterally.
Well, the president did tariffs in his first term, and we didn't have inflation go up from tariffs. Okay, so it's been that statement has not been proven.
He didn't do anything near the scale of what he's doing right now.
But what has been proven is when the government runs grocery stores or freezes rent or tries to do rent controls or tries to do all these top-down things, and we have a housing problem in Manhattan because of that.
Here's the problem.
They exist, actually, Hal.
I know, and they don't work, and that's the problem.
Talking about
And their squabble will continue on Twitter as Ro Khanna tweeted out that clip saying, "I called out Betsy for calling Mamdani voters stupid. Share this clip so every young person turns out in New York. This is what the old guard thinks of you." But Betsy wouldn't let that slide, responding, "This is a disingenuous take for clicks. Roll the tape. I said the rise of Mamdani represents, quote, a failure of our education system. Much of Mamdani's base is college education, yet they're unaware socialism has never worked." Even though she's calling people stupid, I think in her tweet she meant college educated. Come on, Betsy, you can't double down and cower away from your own words. If you're calling people stupid, call them stupid. Don't pretend like that's not what you're doing. We can literally see and hear what you're actually saying. Don't belittle us that much, please. But also, if that's true, why hasn't it worked? Is it because anytime there's ever even a little bit of chance of it actually working a little bit, the CIA comes and overthrows their government? It's funny that when people try to talk about the history of socialism, they never point to that part. Ro Khanna had the opportunity to lay home why these policies are good and why they're not ridiculous or extreme policies, and how they would win in every county in America. Everywhere there's people paying taxes, want those taxes to be used to benefit the people paying taxes. Why is that so ridiculous? But Ro Khanna just sat there while Abby Phillips said, yeah, that's a ridiculous way to use our taxpayer money. No, it's not. Cutting taxes for the richest people that ever lived is a ridiculous way to use our taxpayer money. Endless war is a ridiculous way to use our taxpayer money. Subsidizing oil companies and sports stadiums are ridiculous ways to use our money. If you agree that a lot of Trump's policies are ridiculous and crazy, then playing centrist to that means you're working yourself halfway to ridiculous and crazy. You can't expect much from Abby Phillips, a CNN host, because she's a CNN host, and manufacturing consent means they only hired her because she's never rocked a boat in her life. But Ro Khanna is a person with power that pretends to be for the people. Of course, he's a controlled opposition, and he's only there to timidly push back and ask for an apology instead of shutting her down and explaining why policies that benefit the people is actually a good thing and is what taxes should be used for. Or Betsy's right. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you want a breakdown of David Pakman's recent meltdown over the Taylor Lorenz article, click this video. And if you're still watching, you might as well subscribe to the channel. Peace.